The last time on Fiesta...
Last time on Fiesta, we fiestaed until we could no longer fiesta. And so I fiestaed off camera in order to fiesta further. And we have attained the 10th level of Fiesta. So now we will fiesta. Until the word means nothing.
Confuse everyone.
All the one people that are watching this.
I still remember, what was it? Was it one of our Mega Man ones where, one of our Mega Man ones, right?
Right.
What we were doing, what was it? That one Mega Man game, we had like one person watching it.
There are actually several people. I remember you pimped it out to, Dot Hackers, and so some of the people there watched actually all of the parts. So they got a fair bit of views. There's just like one or two comments. They're just kind of like, oh, hey, that's cool.
Well, I did show it to a few people, but that's about it. We never finished it, so.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. It was just the problem was that I had put all of that planning into it and putting all the work into making subtitles, and then what happened? Fucking Chip Cheesem randomly, suddenly they're like, hey, we'll do Mega Man Legends! Oh, by the way, we'll make subtitles so everyone knows what they're saying. And I was just sitting here like,
so I did all this effort for nothing?
It's like, why does the world, the universe, do this to me?
Well, that and his thing wasn't really much of a Let's Play, was it?
No, they were very cash about it, and also his subtitles were just really flat and boring, whereas I color-coded mine to whoever was talking.
Mm-hmm.
I remember doing that too.
No.
Because I also put jokes in the middle of some of them. Like one subtitle said something really horrible for like a brief second and then changed to the right thing. It was related to Tron, because I really hate Tron's character. She's just the typical tsundere. Just, oh, what? Mega Man saved me from a dog? Oh no, I must have conflicting feelings for him.
The dairy curse.
Anyway, so Dragon is dying because Krill decided to murder it while saving us, so we gotta go find some dragon grass.
Oh, you mean like the thing that, Lena basically poisoned herself doing before?
Yeah. Fortunately, Lena knew all about it, so she was like, oh yeah, get the dragon grass.
And then the dragon had to save her.
Yep.
Tell ya, stop making the thing you save have to save you.
And now soldiers are letting us out and locking the door behind us because they're monsters, apparently. Whoosh. Okay, it is showcase time. So, the reason I stopped to grind was for this.
This wonderful creature you fought?
The double lance is not a lance, but a boomerang weapon, technically.
Okay.
So it can be equipped by ninjas and thieves. It is a weapon that attacks twice. So on a ninja, with 2 of them, that's 4 regular attacks in one go. It is so absurd that we probably won't even buy the air knives except for like 1 or 2. Because as much as the air knife has slightly more damage, the double hitting of the twin lance is such that it out-damages it.
Oh my gosh.
If we could put twin lances on our monk, then he would definitely do more damage.
Alright. Yes!
But that was worth all of the hell of grinding, stealing for them in this really horrible stealing mechanism of Final Fantasy V. Because it also got me a lot of AP, so we have a couple people swapped around. Reina mastered Ninja so she can dual wield, but I switched her to Bard, so there was no point in dual wielding.
Indeed.
Yep. Kelga! We have to go out and talk to Kelga.
Can you tell us where this random thing of grass is?
Locked from the inside.
Also, are these dragons just extremely rare or something?
Yeah, they're an endangered species, apparently. Oh.
Oh yes, endangered species. You know what we should do with them? We should ride around on them and show our royal status.
Ah! Fortunately, the leader of the ninja werewolves is a friend of Galuf. Oh, one of the 4 Dawn Warriors.
Oh. Look at this.
This is a point where it's just like, alright, hold up. I know we kind of just broke into your house, kind of asking for the key to get by, but seriously, just because we were in the world where you put this motherfucker in here, don't mean we associate with him, I... You fuck.
It's showdown time, Deku!
Uh-oh. Let's see what you're made of.
This is man to man! Pine attack!
Pine attack.
In before it's just basically...
See, this is the Gran Torino.
Phones at people.
And this is when Deku learns how to full cowl. Air Force Smash. Or whatever it's called.
It's called full cowl is his big
Well, no, there's like the technique he makes up after full cowl. It's something Air Force, and it just makes me laugh.
Now I'm just imagining you say Air Force Smash, and there's just a whole fleet of Air Force planes.
It's just a bunch of fucking F-16s.
You're just flying down the road.
Drogon. My father was All Might. Oh wait, no, I wasn't.
Deku's dad's like a little fire or something, right?
He breathes fire, yeah, apparently. Deku's parents are just kind of people.
Well, I know the mother is kind of a small power holder, so like she can do like what was it, teleportation?
No, she can pull objects to herself.
She can do some sort of levitation-ish kind of a thing.
It's a shame, because if Deku had a quirk, it probably would have been, you know, floating fire.
That would be pretty funny. What was that floating fucker at you? I, for one, am against this. We will not do this shit.
I love how we're having a flashback about how, you know, one of the guys was talking about how we shouldn't seal Exdeath in this world full of innocent people. And Kelga earlier is just like, oh, you must have been working with Exdeath if you're from that world. What the fuck? Like, damn it.
Totally. We don't know who Exdeath is, but totally it's Orifal. We were totally working with a giant tree.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, damn it, old man, would you use your brain for a few seconds and realize how stupid you are?
And of course, Mr. Deku's not even from that current world. He's from that previous world, technically.
Oh yeah. Well, his dad is from their world.
Yeah, he's like half from their world, so come on. Do we ever see Deku's dad that much?
Just in flashbacks, that's it. Visited his grave back in his hometown, but that was it.
Oh, okay, so his dad's dead. I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, Bakugo has parents, so you see both of them at some point in the current season.
Oh, wait, you're talking about in My Hero Academia.
Yes.
Oh. I thought you were talking about our Deku.
No,
Bart's.
Deku's dad is already dead, and the mother kind of just randomly
No, his parents are still alive, but, like, no one says anything about Deku's dad, but his mom, of course, is always there.
Well, because she's more of a stay-at-home mom. I think the dad just works.
His mom being, you know, the unsupportive mother.
She supports him.
Instead of telling him he can still be a hero, just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have any power." It's like, seriously? You don't say that to your fucking kid.
She had her own things to worry about.
The problem is, you don't really need a power to be a hero.
Well, the problem is you're in a society where having powers is normal.
True, but you can still be a hero, even if you don't have power.
What is it? There was an anime OVA-ish kind of series. I don't know if it was just an anime or an OVA or whatever movie. Well, Broken Blade, and people would control stuff like machines using certain powers. And this one person can't. And the guy's quirklet, the guy doesn't have powers, but he sort of is attending and doing like mech stuff. And the one big Deus Ex mech is actually just a normal looking. It's a normal gun, basically a normal mech where you don't. It has a normal power source, and you actually have to, you know, fly the thing, not like. It just makes me laugh. You actually have to fly this thing. Oh my god.
Our bard
He is strong now.
has begun the first step towards breaking the game.
Yes!
Requiem is a very powerful song in the right hands, because it deals damage to undead creatures. It scales with magic. So if you happen to have Bard and Summoner, you don't even need to summon anymore in certain areas. You can just use Requiem, automatically kill everything. Mm-hmm. We actually don't need to buy any of this. We do need these. Hopefully I can afford to fill up. Yep. Cannot afford to, yeah. Just gonna go ahead and sell those. Mm-hmm. And sell those. Sell that. So there's a good reason why I didn't buy equipment at the, at Gallif's Castle, is because the equipment here is way better.
Well, except for air knives.
Well, air knives isn't for another few dungeons, or a few towns, so... Here!
No.
Well, I can only afford to buy... new hats. Which is fine, I'll be able to... Yep.
Rope headband.
Yep. Rope headband. I can't even remember what it's called in the, like, GBA translation. Oh yeah, so, there's this well. There's a weird voice coming out of the well. Oh god, another fanboy. Oh, okay, never mind.
Will you please bring me a frog? Come on, I gotta have one!
So that's a guy where if you have a Beastmaster and you capture a Cornago and bring it to him, he gives you the Cornago Gourd, which is an accessory that boosts the, it boosts the, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it raises the health requirement for catching a monster to 50%, as opposed to 12.5.
So you can capture them easier.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep. Alright, now let's do some rearranging. Now the reason I'm leaving Reyna as a bard, even though she's mastered bard, is because bard actually has a very brief amount of AP they gain to master stuff, so I'm just waiting until someone else masters something to switch her to something else.
Of course.
Let's see what I want to... I did have a bunch of people equipped with steel in order to get the damn twin lances.
Yep.
Okay, a lot of these are unnecessary because I already have a thief, so I'll probably do... No, I'll just do that for him. Alright, time to go to this place. Valley of Dragons. Yeah. Time to immediately get encountered by monsters.
Oh yeah, right. There's that.
QUADLANCE is a hell of a drug. This is also a dungeon where ninjas are great. Because there are a lot of things here that are weak to fire, and they come in large groups. There are also a lot of undead creatures here.
Which means Bard's gonna be happy today.
Bard will have happy times, but Bard can also throw scrolls with extra power, so... Bard Ninja and Ninja Bard. Technically Bard Ninja. Ninja... In order for Ninja to have the magic stat of a Bard would require equip harps, but I want Sing instead. Here we go. Durgan Zombie. And that's free damage. That is the regular damage.
Of course.
Now, when you're in a fight like this, it's better for Ninja to be quad-lancing, because it exceeds the damage of Requiem. Probably wouldn't exceed the damage of the fire skill, though. Dragon Fang. Be it. Someone got hurt in that, didn't they? Yeah. And the 99 potions that I have from grinding the damn... I was actually selling those.
Really?
Because I was getting so many of them, I kept hitting the max, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna sell some of them so I can... I know I'll end up refilling them just by stealing.
Yep.
Oh no! Deku has been poisoned. Whatever will we do? Except
Apparently,
Flex.
I learned all about the movie Need for Speed this week.
Okay.
It had Aaron Paul. Oh, it had Aaron Paul in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was an actor.
Really?
No, when I think Aaron Paul, all I can think is Jake Paul.
Jake Paul?
Yeah, the guy who's the YouTuber got in all that trouble.
Oh.
Old drama on a YouTube video. They're gonna be like, we already know about that whole Suicide Forest thing, and I'm like, so what?
Not that stuff again.
Not that stuff again. That was already early in the year. It doesn't take the fact it happened away.
Alright, so better to use fire skills here.
In other news, random events on YouTube happen.
Yay, random events.
There you go. It's like no spoilers. Spoilers, someone dies.
In other news, some shit happened somewhere. The end. Now on to sports.
Yeah. Makes me laugh.
Ugh. I'm still really not happy about this controller.
Why is the controller being evil?
It's like I said yesterday when I was speedrunning Super Metroid. Oh, hey, look. So, here's a predicament.
What is your predicament?
So we need to save Golem. But if we use a fire skill, we'll hurt Golem too. Whatever will we do?
Don't know. Whatever will you do?
We sing.
We will sing a Christmas song.
Oh, play your requiem. There we go.
Darn, you were in such a predicament there. I was almost worried you were gonna lose.
Hey, take me with you. Simple and efficient as a sentence. And is much more bearable than it would rock if I could roll with you guys.
It would rock if I could.
GBA. Fuck. One cat. This is why I kind of prefer this one as opposed to the GBA. Because it does not have stupid lines like that. And before anyone can say anything, this is nothing like Son of a Submariner.
What are you talking about?
Translation of Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, I see.
It maintained the plot and story of the game while having a few choice joke lines in the midst of it. Mostly from Kefka. Because, you know, Kefka being some clown-type creature.
And of course he's a content creature.
Sing. Every time I play Requiem for one of these things, I think I'm just gonna start singing For Whom the Bell Tolls. Oh, he's...
No, Thinking of something more cliche than that.
Why?
That stupid song everyone uses from Requiem for a Dream.
Oh.
You know, that really depressing movie.
Yeah, I never even saw the movie.
But everyone uses this stupid thing from it.
It's just,
This iconic thing that, like, literally no one else uses.
Problem is, people don't realize how redundant the song is.
Oh yeah, it is pretty redundant.
Yeah. But really, there are only two things I think of when I hear that song. The compilation of Nicolas Cage moments in movies, and a video that detailed how to, I guess, basically sequence break getting the, I would have been your daddy's skull in Halo 2. The video by a guy by the name of Lieutenant Tuma.
And for those of people who think Red vs. Blue could not still be going on, it just finished season 16. It still exists.
Yeah.
To the chagrin of some people.
Windsword. Coronet.
So what's funny is the site, the site, the one anime site does have the Ruby because technically it has a Japanese manga.
Yep.
Therefore, technically it's on the site.
It has a manga. After the fact.
Though to be fair, I had to look at, what was it? The food fight yesterday I was looking at the food fight again from Volume 2. Just the over-the-top thing with Yang using turkeys as boxing gloves and Weiss literally using a literal swordfish.
Hey, I like Nora with the, like, sticking the whatever in the watermelon.
Also, it's like watermelon hammer.
Yeah.
Watermelon hammer, and then was it flake and the links of sausages?
Yeah.
And then the bread. The French bread. It's the French bread, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it Italian bread?
It was French.
It's
the French
bread.
loaf.
The French bread loaves, and then of course there was it. Ren gets the leeks.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the Rooster Teeth people like grape soda.
Yeah. People like grapes.
Yep. Yep. I was watching.
Really, just way back when. Just people saying weird stuff, and then literally just on the podcast they're like, I want to see a shirt that says people like grapes, and then for you to wear it around, and then for people to look at you just be like, yeah, of course they do, you cunt. And then what happened? Rooster Teeth stored people like grapes shirt.
Indeed. People do like grapes. No, but it's funny because they'll be like, oh, technically Ruby's an anime. Ruby's not really an anime.
It's a phoneme.
Well, because in reality, it's a web series.
Well, it's a web series, but it's also a phoneme.
Like Avatar the Last Airbender?
Like Avatar, like, well, okay.
Well,
I'm not sure about Avatar, but there were shows like Totally Spies where they're French-ames.
Oh yes, and there was also Code Lyoko and Reboot.
Reboot doesn't count. Reboot wasn't anime, Reboot was just CGI. And it was Canadian, so...
I just remember Reboot so much.
Well, yeah.
I don't remember much from it, I just remember kind of the general gist, and that, like, the CG was very jarring.
I remember a lot of it. Especially because it, like, took a huge left turn. Just right in the middle of it. It just suddenly was getting really serious and really dark, and I was like, holy fuck.
I mean, I remember the general story, and I didn't remember Hexadecimal as much, but I did remember the original guy. I forget his name. The original evil guy.
Megabyte?
Yes, Megabyte was
Okay.
his name.
Voiced by Tony J.
But yeah. Yeah, I just sort of remember the story to a degree, and then I'll be like, yeah, I remember something with fixing rifts and shit.
Well, the original story is mostly just like a day-to-day life inside a computer as they try to survive, like, you know, games that were destroying hard drive.
Yes,
I remember Loon.
yes.
I remember people talking about it in.
Everyone's
Yeah.
thinking, oh, we're so old now. Games destroying hard drives. Oh god. Well, that's new.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, back when we were kids. Yeah, that was new.
I don't remember what video it was, but a conversation between people and Loon was just like, considering the level of programming that happened back then, games were probably that hazardous to your computer. It just levels a part of your hard drive.
It's well known now, and I'm like, yeah, but back then, like, you didn't make games that were that annoying. You got those games that you would install that didn't take a lot, and they were basically just pointless educational games in like cereal boxes for some of them. And who could forget the
Oh, you forget about like
how
the DOS
to type
games.
the way to get into your game through DOS.
Oh,
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're way too young to know what I'm talking about. I still remember it was like you had to do
Dragon Grass.
to launch. Well, just launching Tomb Raider was like annoying
Oh god, don't remind me of that.
because you had to type in like the exact code and then try to get Tomb Raider to launch, and you couldn't make it in window mode. You had to only play it in full screen mode through the DOS box.
Dragon Grass.
We found the grass.
Found the grass. It is a demon grass.
Demon grass. No.
This is a shining moment for Ninja. Nothing to steal. Because all the tiny grasses that spawn will cause different status effects. What's the best way to get rid of the grass? Just multi-target. Also, they aren't weak to fire, but you might as well go ahead and use fire anyways.
Yeah.
Effectively, this boss has been shut down at this point. Because the actual boss grass itself does not attack at all. So really what I could do instead of throwing another thing is throw a sword. At the risk of not being there in time to get rid of the little grass.
Sounds like it.
Come on. Okay, there we go. Whoosh. Bam. Probably should have put Store on Deku for this instead of Chakra, but you know. And it's dead.
The evil grass died.
We have burned it and torn it to shreds. We cooked it on the spot so that the dragon could eat it just fine. Flambéed dragon grass.
Freshly flambéed dragon grass.
Raina's just like Mom used to make. It's like, didn't you know this is poisonous to humans? What?
Wait, so that means I'm a dragon.
Suddenly it makes sense why Reina is attracted to poisonous grass. It's because she ate it as a kid, so she thinks it's delicious.
There's actually, what was it, one of the manga I read, I think it was based on LN or something of that nature. She basically ate something constantly, like the poison that everyone coats with. oh, this grew all the time near. I just cooked it to eat since we were 4. And so she basically had, basically got herself immune to a certain poison indirectly.
I spent many years developing a resistance to iocane powder.
Which one had the poison? They both did.
All the time, you're someone who was poisoned. They were both poisoned. Still, my favorite part of that movie is where she shoves him down the hill. He's just like, as you wish. She's like, oh, my sweet Wesley, what have I done? She falls and rolls down the hill. Oh, ow, ow, oh. It's so great. Oh, that movie was great, but especially because of Carrie Elwes being Wesley.
Yes, I read the book in the general. There's a book that basically talked about what chapters were cut out and how boring the book really was.
Yeah.
It's a fairly boring book. Like, if you read the book, it's actually pretty boring.
Yeah. Which is a shame, but, you know, yeah. I mean, technically, so's Lord of the Rings. But a lot of people will debate that. But I'm pretty sure they removed all the right stuff for the movies.
Well, I think the problem when people say, oh, it's so boring, and you go, okay, well, wait a second. Do you really need every single thing to know what's going on in the story? You don't.
Yeah, not really, no.
The issue is that Lord of the Rings, yeah, they made a fairly coherent story, and they got through every book. I mean, they did definitely get longer for some films, but what are you gonna do? That's
no, they were all the same length. They actually worked it so that each movie was 3 hours long for the theatrical release, and then it's like 3.5 hours.
But then they decided, oh, you know what? Let's make a Hobbit trilogy, and then, oh, let's add more from this random book that basically... To read it, you had to, like, basically, as I was told, basically, you had to constantly have a chart of who was who, so you knew who was talking and who was talking about what.
Yeah, that was one of the worst ideas.
It was one of the shorter books, but it was one of those books where if you did not have, like, a chart or something with you...
It was an unfinished book, I'm pretty sure. I think...
Yeah.
Wasn't it they used Silmarillion? And I think Silmarillion is the one that was unfinished.
And even someone I know who loves Tolkien's work, I gave her my copies of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That Mom had given me, because I never even bothered to read them.
They're really heady, and there's a lot of just sitting around and talking.
But basically she said that even when she read it, she had to have, like, a pen and paper constantly with her, knowing who was talking to whom, and...
Yeah. It was so... I could not tolerate it.
It's a very... Let's put it this way.
And I'm also the person who basically read a lot of Tolkien... Or, not Tolkien, Crichton when I was in first grade. So you know I can read books where there's talking and stuff, but it was just so... Oh my god.
It's a lot of work, depending on the book.
It was a lot of just...
But funny enough, I read a picture of Dorian Gray when I was, like, very young. And so that was always an interesting, weird thing to think about. Like, I'd read a picture of Dorian Gray, which is a pretty adult book.
Yeah.
Pretty adult book, considering Oscar Wilde got in quite a bit of trouble.
Did he? For that one?
Well, I don't know if it was for that book specifically, but he was not well known to be he was a homosexual at a time where you were really very for that. Whether or not that was the book specifically, but Oscar Wilde himself had a lot of issues as a result of that.
That's a shame.
I think it also implied that the artist was supposedly gay or something. Like I said, I can't say that with authority.
I mean, that's the problem of looking back on something in retrospect. You can try to pause it as much as you can from what you see, but at the end of the day, you have no idea what the original intent was.
Well, yeah, that's the main issue.
It could be that this main character was just a badly written character, and they kept rewriting the story as I went along, but people are still going to make up stories about how, oh, it was so clever how they hid the fact that Cloud wasn't actually a oh, wait, no, I can't talk about this!
Mm-hmm. Cloud wasn't actually what?
I don't want to anger the Final Fantasy fanboys. You're all idiots, by the way. Cloud is the worst Final Fantasy main character. Second worst, okay, after Lightning. Well, it's kind of a tie. At least Lightning has...
to go in and out.
At least Lightning has good character design.
At least Lightning does. And Lightning was even a model for Ralph Lauren for a while. I think.
Hey, do you remember when Aki was gonna be like the official CG model for like Squaresoft stuff? Aki Ross from Spirits Within.
I think so.
Yeah, she was actually supposed to be something like that, and then because the movie did so badly, they had to just throw that all out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as we've said before to each other, it's not that the movie was bad, it's just it wasn't really a good Final Fantasy movie. If it didn't have Final Fantasy on the front of it, it probably would have actually been okay. Done a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It was some really impressive CG, though, for the time.